everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jay Monet if you're new here, and today I'll be giving my fourth quarter wrap up. I'm feeling so lazy today that this is not going to be like a really serious video. So in the final 3 months of 2022, I ended up reading finishing only 4 books, but it's okay because I managed to reach my goal of 24 books in the year, and that's all that matters. I'm going to quickly go over the 4 books that I read during the last 3 months of the year. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't really remember them, most of them for the most part, and it's not on the books, it's on me. For 2 of these books, I wrote reviews on them, so if you want more in-depth detail, especially because one of them was a new release in December, and the next one's not coming out till February. So if you want to get my thoughts on those books, then I will be mentioning which ones those are, but you can access them through my Medium link down below in my bio, in the description box. So the first book that I finished during the 4th quarter was Tiffany D. Jackson's White Smoke. It's a booktube darling, I would say. A lot of people really like this book, but for me, I only give it 3 stars. I expected it to go a lot farther than it did. One thing that I had an issue with was the ending. I thought that the ending was a little bit too abrupt. I feel like it could have been fleshed out a lot more. I think it ended too quickly. It seemed like it was gonna go farther than it did with the story, because you found out who was causing the haunting in the house and why they were there, but it seemed like there would be a little bit more to the story, and at the end it seemed like that there would be kind of like a sequel, but I don't think there's gonna be a sequel to the story, which is why I'm saying the story could have gone a lot farther. Also, I feel like the main character's voice was a little bit too repetitive. It's like, it's hard to get into it first because it over and over again is talking about how she smokes a lot, she wants to smoke so badly, and she this is a YA, by the way, if you don't know. This is a YA gothic horror. The main character also has a fear of bed bugs because she had an incident in the past where that ended up making her anxiety really bad. So that was in the voices. The main character's head over and over again was bed bugs and smoking, and it was getting so repetitive that it's like, who is this character outside of these 2 things? And that's why I couldn't really give the book a higher rating. So the next book that I finished, which is one of the new releases that came out in January, is Coley Holderfield's debut, Hemlock Hollow. And this one's an adult fiction story. It's kind of both a mystery and also a historical fiction at the same time. It follows 2 timelines, one of someone from the current day, and it's a woman who was left her family's cabin and in the Appalachian Mountains, and then the past was for a boy into his adulthood, and his family used to own that cabin. And so it goes across 2 timelines to discover secrets, because it was assumed that the guy from the past killed his brother, and so the woman in the future, she's trying to figure out if he really did or if someone else did it. And I give this 4.5 stars. I think it's a really solid debut. Like I said, you can go to my Medium account and you'll see my full review, which actually the author saw and shared with his Instagram following, which I thought was cool. But I really enjoyed this book, and it's a book that it's an author that I will keep an eye out. I want to see what else he comes up with. So the next book that I read was My Last Innocent Year, which is also a debut, and it's by Daisy Alpert Florin. I gave this one 4 stars. This one is kind of like a coming of age, also literary fiction, and it follows a girl during her final year in undergrad, and she ends up, at the beginning of the story, she was sexually violated by someone that she doesn't really consider a friend, but it's kind of an acquaintance. It was kind of a gray area what the relationship was, and she ends up spending the next year or so trying to process what happened to her. And she also has a new professor that she works with, and they ended up having more of a student-teacher relationship. And throughout the story, she's navigating that, and she's also navigating her life in the past, where she has to deal with her mother passing away and her father barely being able to get by and barely being able to pay for her to go through school. So yeah, I think it was a pretty good 4-star read. It was a pretty decent debut novel. It's not really one of my favorite debuts. I didn't write a review on this. I might. I think it came out already. I have to check, but it's not a book that I would reread, to be honest. But I think other people might like this book. Last but not least, we have Johnny Compton's The Spy House, which comes out in February. It was a 4-star debut for me. I think I really liked it. It could have gone a little farther, and there's some things that confused me. I don't want to go into details because it doesn't come out yet, and since I got an advance copy, I can't really discuss that closely with the details. I did write a review on this one as well, and you can check that out on my Medium page, linked down below. The Southern Gothic horror follows Eric as he's going across the country trying to find a safe place to live with his 2 daughters, one who is, well, she's now 18, and then the other one is a kid. And they had to run away from home for a reason that will be revealed later on in the story. He runs across this ad in the newspaper asking for a tenant for this Masson Spite House owned by the advertiser, and they want someone to be able to record all the things that happens in this house, and Eric ends up applying and being approved. So he takes his family to Texas, where he has to he not only has to just figure out what's going on in that house, but he also tries to figure out why it has a tie to his own family, his family history. And it also goes into multiple perspectives. So it's not just going through Eric's voice, it's also going through his daughter's voice, both of them, and the woman who hired him, and a few other voices. And I think the story would have been done a disservice if it was only in Eric's point of view. Some people don't like that it was in multiple points of view. I think that the story worked really well in multiple points of view, and I think that having all these different perspectives really expands not only the mystery and intrigue, but it also explains the story a lot more, and we get a lot more pieces to the puzzle that helps make the story as suspenseful as it is. Okay, so that's it for the books that I finished the year out with. Moving forward, I'm not really going to rate the books that I read, partly because I've been DNFing so many books, so people might see my stats and be like, there's no way she doesn't have any 2 or 1 star rated books. There's no reason for it to only have 3 to 5, you know? But the thing is, I DNF a lot. I ended up DNFing 23 books last year, so I was so close to DNFing as many books as I was supposed to read. So my stats are 3 up because if I don't like a book, then I'm not finishing it. So there's no reason why I would have 1 and 2 star rated books. So I'm not gonna really rate books anymore. Like, I'll have them in my store graph as rated just because that's how it works. But in general, I'm not gonna be like obsessing over the ratings of books. I'm just gonna focus more on what I liked in the story, what I didn't like in the story, how the story impacted me, and like all the themes and whatnot that happened in the book, because that's really all that matters. You know, talk about the books that I like. That's kind of how it works. So I'm not gonna worry about the ratings anymore. Also, I was thinking about doing like this little update or whatever, saying, having this separate video just of my goals and whatnot for 2023, but then I was like, I'd rather just rest and relax and not worry about that right now, because I did start my channel in January of last year, and so I'm moving on to year 2, but I guess I'm going to just do it here since this is a quick video. So one thing that's happening in 22 is, as of today, I just launched my own literary magazine called Suspended Magazine. I'll include the link down below where you can check out our website. I'm running it with 3 of my friends, and we open up submissions in about a month. On February 1st, we'll open to submissions, and you can also donate to our magazine as well. We will be publishing poetry, short stories, and visual art like photography and whatnot. It would be great if y'all would support us, and this is something I've been working on for a while. I first made it for a final project back in 2020, like right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I decided, you know, why not just launch it? I needed something to do, and I thought it'd be a fun thing to do, and I think it also would be an important thing to do, especially because a bunch of literary magazines are shutting down right now, and I think it's an important part of the literary space, literary culture, that we need more literary magazines. Also, I'm still querying my novel. Hopefully 2023 is when I'll get offers for representation. Hopefully I'll be able to finally sign with a literary agent, and my gothic horror novel will be coming out soon. After that, well, not really soon, but like it will be following that. That's also something I'll be excited about this year. And finally, 2023 is gonna be the year of making moves, abundance. I hope a lot of good things will be coming to me. I'll try to post more on this channel. I only had 12 videos last year, so a video a month averaging, even though that's not what happened, but still. Hopefully I'll have more than 24 videos out by the end of this year. I hope to be more productive, have more video ideas, and be able to read a lot more. So that's it. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.